For this lesson, we're going to take a look at the other algebraic method for solving systems, which is going to be by elimination. So when we're talking about elimination, what we're doing is we're actually adding or subtracting the two equations together to cancel out a variable. So the first thing we need to do is, if necessary, multiply each equation by a constant to obtain coefficients for x or y that are identical, except perhaps the sign, which we're going to take a look at in a second. Then we're just going to add or subtract vertically. So we need to add or subtract the x's together, the y's together, and the constants together in order to eliminate one variable. And then we're going to solve for whatever variable we have left. And then we're going to substitute that solution into either one of the equations in order to solve for the other variable. So the first example of this already has the y's with matching coefficients, with the exception of the fact that one is positive and one is negative. So all you need to think of is, if I'm combining these, I only have two possibilities. Either I can add them or subtract them to eliminate. Well, if I subtract the second equation, 7 minus negative 7 is going to give me positive 14. So like it says, I need to add the equations in order to cancel this out. Remembering that I'm always adding or subtracting vertically, so I should always have my x's stacked on top of each other, my y's stacked on top of each other, and my constants stacked on top of each other. So in this case, if I have 2x plus 3x, I have 5x's. The 7x and negative 7x should cancel each other out. That's why we call it elimination. And this is going to equal 13 plus 2 is going to be 15. So if 5x is equal to 15, I divide both sides by 5, and x is equal to 3. Now that I've done this, and I've stated that in this case x is equal to 3, then I'm going to use the value of x to determine the other value. So I can pick which equation I want to do this. It really doesn't matter which equation I pick. So I'm going to pick equation 1. And I'm going to say that 2 times 3 plus 7y is equal to 13, or 6 plus 7y is equal to 13. When I subtract 6 from both sides, 7y is equal to 7, which means that y is equal to 1. If y is equal to 1, then my solution to this system is going to be 3 and 1. Now I need to verify these solutions, so I'm going to put it back into both equations. So I put it into equation 1. I'm going to say that in this case I have 2 times 3 plus 7 times 1 is equal to 13. 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. 13 is equal to 13. And this works because the left side equals the right side. Put it into equation 2, and 3 times 3 minus 7 times 1 is equal to 2. 9 minus 7 equals 2. 2 equals 2. And that one works as well. Looking at the second example here, consider the following system. 2x plus 6y is equal to 6, or 2x plus 3y is equal to 4.5. Well, in this case, I can see that the x's match. So I'm going to eliminate the x's. Now in this case, if I add the two x's together, I'm going to wind up with 4x, which means that to eliminate, I need to subtract them from each other. Once again, remembering that I'm subtracting everything vertically. So if I have 2x minus 2x, the x's cancel out. If I have 6y minus 3y, I'm left with 3y. And if I have 6 minus 4.5, I have 1.5. Now, if I divide in order to solve for y, I'm going to say that y is equal to 1.5 divided by 3, which is either going to be 0.5 or 1 over 2. Remembering that we typically prefer fractional answers. Then I'm going to pick one of the equations, doesn't matter which one, and substitute my y back in order to solve for x. So I'm going to say that if I have, from equation 1, 2x plus 6 times 0.5, or 1 over 2, is equal to 6, then 2x plus 3 is equal to 6. 2x is going to equal 3, or x is going to equal 3 over 2. So I'm going to have the solution 3 over 2 and 1 over 2. And once again, now I need to check that it actually works in both equations. So for equation 1, if I have 2 times 3 over 2 plus 6 times 1 over 2 should equal 6. Well, 2 times 3 is 6 divided by 2 is going to be 3. Plus 3 is equal to 6. 6 equals 6, and that one works. For equation 2, 2 times 3 over 2 plus 3 times 1 over 2 equals 4.5. 3 plus 1.5 equals 4.5. And this one works as well.